How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Celestia Radio Podcast, the CRP podcast, the crap podcast, however you want to refer to it. I am your host, Matthias, and joining me are the usual dynamic duo of Nat and Dalit. What's up, guys?
G'day, everyone.
Hey, everything's all good over here. How you doing?
I'm suffering.
Oh, why is that?
Oh,
I'm Genshin has my soul and everything. It
that'll
just
do it.
Of course. Anything else new?
Okay, you know what? A week straight of just waking up from rise till sleep. I've just been playing Genshin morning to night, farming Prima Gems, throwing them at throwing singles at banners, hoping to get lucky.
I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, I personally have not played Genshin Impact, but but from what I've seen and heard, it's kind of just like an oversized mobile game. But with you acting like it is considered an MMO, right?
I don't think so.
No, I think like loosely some people might, but I don't think it's in its characterization.
I am
or its
most
genre.
certainly going to call those people wrong because it's its
I
multiplayer
would.
aspect isn't its strength, and it's probably
Right.
better than it was. But yeah, no, this
it's
feels
about the
very
same, really.
Okay. Well, there you have it. This feels very single player driven.
Oversized
Typical
mobile
gotchas.
game, yeah.
I don't even know about that necessarily, because that is one thing I kind of have to give MiHoYo. They feel like games. They have just enough mobile monetization, however, that it takes
Right.
me personally out of it for taking them as seriously as I could otherwise. Because I think the storytelling, the character design, and I guess kind of the depth of gameplay are all absolutely there,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have the gotcha.
Yeah.
And the gotcha specifically
Gotcha's
in
not
Genshin
for everybody.
is ruthless. Or I guess really just the way that they handle most of the stuff around Genshin. It just seems much better in their follow-up in Star Rail.
Yeah, Star Rail does have a lot of nice quality of life. It's ruthless, but it is definitely. I call it like a AAA for gacha games, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because it has a lot of just attention to detail and like nice things in it that your general gacha game just doesn't even feel like a full game compared to it.
Yeah,
It has
100%.
money put behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Because we've all played Honkai Star Rail, right?
Yeah. We've all played Star Rail.
Mhm.
Yeah. And,
I mean, I have that too. I play that too. But it doesn't hold me like Genshin does, and that's just a tendency to prefer fantasy to science fiction.
Yeah. But like the general consensus from what I've seen is that like there's a lot of quality of life updates in Honkai Star Rail that people really want to be in Genshin Impact.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is just unambiguously the correct take.
There's so many that would be nice. Please. Suffering.
Yeah, I still don't feel bad for you for playing that game a week straight, like as if it was a new release of of not an MMO, of an expansion of an MMO. There we go.
Hey man, I want the nice things. I've had plenty to do. I pulled Farina, so I've been farming up mats to get her up, and then at the same time just farming Prima Gems to try and get the other banner character and the weapons. And so far, no luck, but I've got a few more days, like a week left, so hopefully I get lucky in that time. And if not, oh well, I've got plenty of characters to level and stuff to do.
Didn't you get like one character that you wanted? Because I saw it on Twitter. I'm just like, oh, he got the thing. He got that chick.
Farina, she is the Hydro Archon. I do love her to death. I have learned today she is now my favorite Archon. Her specialty dish, I don't know why this is the thing that pushed it. She was already right there at the cusp, tied with Nahida. But what pushed her to being my favorite is her specialty dish is a coffee cake. And dude, I
Ooh,
love coffee cake. And
that
I'm
sounds
just
nice.
like, oh my god. She gives her special dish is coffee cake, all of the other things about her that are amazing. Nope, she's just the best Archon. Farina's the best Archon. She's everything.
All right. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
It
That's all because I've got nothing. Again, I haven't played Genshin, so I've
there's
no.
there's a saying I've come across in a lot of anime and manga that so I'm assuming I don't know if it's just a Japanese only saying or whatever, but the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and that ended up being what did it.
Oh,
Here
that is
is
not
coffee
exclusive
cake.
to anime and manga. Let me tell you,
Japanese. Yeah.
that is a
Yeah.
widely understood truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what she did. She made me this really beautiful and delicious looking coffee cake, and I'm like, oh my god, I love you. This is it. This this is my favorite Archon.
Who knew it was going to be that simple?
Hey, men are simple creatures.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
It does, playing Genshin for the last week and farming Primogems does bring a question to mind that I am a little curious about,
Uh-oh.
and I think I know the answer a little bit for you, Nat, but I don't know the answer at all for Dalit.
No.
Have you guys ever been TCG players?
Casually or like actually in competitions and all that?
Either.
Yes.
No.
Sort of.
I have always.
So yes and no. So
Yeah.
you haven't played any Dalit?
Oh no, I've played, but I've never taken them seriously. I've mostly just
Yeah.
collected them because they were a thing to do with friends.
Yeah.
I have.
So that's a yes to my question.
Oh, okay. Well then,
it's
yeah.
either or. though.
But I very rarely ever play the game. Like I collected Pokemon
So which-
cards, but I didn't play
Okay.
Pokemon TCG. I collected. God, is that the only one?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Is it the only one?
Oh, no.
Magic the Gathering.
I guess I played a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, this is not a genre that I enjoy. I tried to give it another go fairly recently when Legends of Runeterra came out, because for a brief spit of time there, that was the hotness. And it was like, oh, this is
Right.
actually
That's the League one, right?
yeah, it's a League
Yes.
one. It's like League Hearthstone.
Okay.
And like
Yeah. I watched Nat play it. Didn't you play the beta?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did play the
Okay,
beta
so yeah.
of Runeterra.
but yeah, at the end of the day, it always comes down to the same things with card games for me. I'm just here to look at the nice art. And in Runeterra's case,
Yeah.
the storytelling was better in the card game than it was in the main game.
That's everything for League.
That is actually factual.
Fair.
No comment
fair.
upon that statement. Yep.
What about you, Nat? Which ones have you played?
All right. So again, I have not played any like official competitions. It's always like the kind of like the either like during like school launches or like after school.
Yeah.
You're playing.
Yeah.
You're playing like It was Yu-Gi-Oh for me mostly. I did collect both Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. But if I was playing, it was Yu-Gi-Oh because believe it or not, I actually did not know how to play fucking Pokemon because it requires extra stuff like a fucking coin flip and all this. Like,
My man, I still don't know how to play the Pokemon trading card game.
sort of do, but yeah, I'd much rather play Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic the Gathering over Pokemon. But yeah, I was just mostly a collector. I would get like packets from like McDonald's or like some stores or like with like the full like 40 card decks or like just like 10 cards per packet sort of thing, or like 5 cards per packet. But yeah,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, those were childhood, and in terms of adulthood, I've played a tiny bit of Magic the Gathering, a tiny bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I didn't play the previous one, Duel Links, I think that's what's called.
Master Duel is
Wait, hold on.
probably the better of the two.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
you are right. It's
Yeah.
Master Duel, and there's Duel Links then Master Duel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I don't really collect Pokemon cards anymore. That's my brother's job now. My little brother's job. He's the one who collects Pokemon cards. And yeah, I don't really play no more except for collection because, you know, as Dolan has said, the artwork for pretty much all, I would say all like trading card games is like good to great.
Yeah, I agree.
Like even
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's a
Hearthstone
big
and-
part of their selling, right? Because you're getting cards, you know, you have to have something on
They
there
have to
look up.
look
Besides
good.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
So, presumably, Matthew, you do play to one degree or another trading card games. What's your poison? Is it the Yugi Mans? Is it the Digimans? Is it the Magic Mans? Is it the Pokemon?
It's fucking magic.
I love-
Magic
I-
the Gathering.
So we'd be here for a long time if I tried to list all of the TCGs that I have played. Because I have played a lot of different TCGs, and a lot of them I have enjoyed. I'll mention. So I collected Pokemon as a kid, like same as like both of you said. I collected it. I didn't learn how to play Pokemon until I was like 21 or 22.
Yeah, pretty
And
much the exact same thing for me.
Yeah, like my best friend at the time, who I played cards with, like that was just what we did most of the time. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I used to play this when I was a kid," and I'm like, "I collected, but I never played." And he was like, "Oh well, let's get some cards and I'll show you how." And I'm like, "Okay." He taught me how, and I'm like, "And this is a kid's game?" I'm like, "Wait, this is like so not straightforward.
It
Like
really
why?"
isn't. It's not compared to Yu-Gi-Oh, especially old Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, today's Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh my god.
And today's Yu-Gi-Oh is still pretty straightforward. It's just very fast paced.
No, not only that, I'm talking about like literally like Bible verses of fucking text just on the card, and like the text
Yeah,
is
they are
small
bad
and
about
that. I don't know how people can just
That's Yu-Gi-Oh's design flaw of not using a keyword system when it comes to effects,
Yes, I agree.
which they have slowly started to sort of remedy, I think. But so yeah, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh was, I think, the first one I actually ever played. I played Magic a lot. Magic I actually did play competitively at one point.
Oh, did you win?
Yeah, I want to cut like
Did
I
you
didn't
win
take
all of Magic?
I didn't take like first place or anything like that. I think the highest I ever placed was third or fourth.
Oh, nice.
And then like always small scale tournaments. I never went into anything particularly big. Now my brothers, both of them went to, because they've both of my older brothers played Magic from, it was either alpha or beta, like really really early on.
Right.
And they both went to one of the big tournaments back early on, but like well before I ever started playing or anything. And my one brother actually got to play the creator of Magic at one of those tournaments. So that was kinda cool.
Shit. That's pretty.
Yeah, just as like a fun little sit down casual thing. It was before Magic was as big as it is now, so I mean, nothing particularly special. But from what I'm led to believe, if you go look up those old tournaments, you can find their names in the like competitor list.
Well, that's pretty.
I don't know where you would go. Yeah, I don't know where you would go to look that up, but you can. So like I played those. I've played Hearthstone. I've played all the many different ones that are out there now. I've played a lot of TCGs. Usually what gets me with a TCG is one, really good art.
Yep.
And two, some kind of story to follow along with it. Yu-Gi-Oh had the anime and everything like that, so there was the story that I enjoyed. Magic had story that was really good until they just decided to shoot themselves in the foot. Now I don't know what's going on with it anymore, and it's just all over the place, and I have many thoughts that I'm not going to express. And a lot of the other ones I've played have kind of been because I'm connected to the games they're based off. Like there was the Elder Scrolls one, there was there's Hearthstone.
Yep.
There's Gwent for The Witcher.
Oh yeah.
There's
True.
There's a Final Fantasy trading card game. That one's pretty fun.
Excuse me, sir. We call that triple triad.
No.
That is another. That is
No,
also
I know.
a trading card game, and I have
I know
played
there is
that.
a standalone one as well, yes.
Yeah.
I played both of them.
But have you played Tetramaster?
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know what.
That's the Final Fantasy IX trading card game.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it is, isn't
You
it?
had to bring 9 up in this conversation,
Of
didn't you?
course, of course.
8 was fun, but now you took it too far.
I forgot that was there in 9. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
so
lie
does
to you.
so does literally everyone else. There's a reason why you know about Triple Triad, but had an absolute blue screen moment when I said Tetramaster.
It sounded familiar, at least. Well, it's like I don't. Was there ever really a reason to do it in 9 besides just be a mini game to do?
Fuck, do I know?
Maybe. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, so I guess I did play that. Yeah, I've played a lot. The Final Fantasy actual trading card game is a lot of fun though. So I've played so many. I like trading card games. They're enjoyable.
Is it straightforward / streamlined, or is it fucking Pokemon where you need like a bunch of other shit just to play it?
Which one? The Final Fantasy
official,
one?
yeah, the official Final Fantasy.
Oh, it's very very straightforward.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah, very straightforward. I played, like I said, I'm not gonna list them all. There's so many. It's crazy how many I've played, but I always kind of correlate them back to my childhood, and that's what makes them so enjoyable.
Mhm.
But I have noticed recently that as much as I like the physical cards, collecting the physical cards is just too expensive.
Oh yeah.
So if it's in some way, shape, or form digital, I do prefer playing them because usually I can play it without having to spend as much money, and if I do spend money, it's optional. I can do everything for free by playing the game and just casually playing, things like that. So that is kind of made me lean towards digital trading card games more. So like Magic Arena or Master Duel, because I don't actually have to spend money.
While
Sure.
Sorry.
Also storage space.
Yeah.
Also storage space.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Now, while I do understand that, Matthew, but there is one very big thing between the physical edition and the additional edition of collecting cards, and that is misprints. Bro, those misprints go for money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's just fair. But I mean, depending on the trading card game, the cards themselves will just go for money.
Oh,
Like in Magic the Gathering, cards go for money sometimes.
yeah, that's fair. But what was
that's
it?
probably the biggest one out there for that.
I think there was like a misprint of like Realized Black Dragon that was like made it like white or like had like a double image, and it was like a ghost like Red Eyes Black Dragon or some shit like that. I don't know, I thought that was cool. Like
I know what
misprints
you're
are
talking
cool.
about. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
There was, y'all know how the original Charizard Pokemon card
Oh my god, yes.
was like, I think to this day is still one of the most expensive Pokemon cards.
I would not be surprised if that was still the case. But yes.
I saw a clip just on like YouTube Shorts or something. A guy just found an old pack of Pokemon cards that you could get that Charizard, and he just ripped it in half to make a joke. And then he looked at the cards were in it, and one of those Charizards was in it, and he just ripped it in half.
Yeah, I would fucking cry.
I was just like, oh no, that hurt my soul, man.
Yeah.
There's one card game that I played when I was relatively young that probably to this day is one of my favorite trading card games. But it didn't hit it off in, like, I guess anywhere because it can't get it anymore. And that's called Chaotic.
Excuse me.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't hear of it. So there was a cartoon, or it came on Saturday mornings, and it was I want to say originally it was like with all the other like Saturday morning cartoons. Eventually Disney bought it out like everything else, and you could watch it on Disney XD or whatever it was. And the show was called Chaotic. And in the show, they played the card game. But then if you did so well playing the card game in real life, you got an invitation that let you travel to the world of where the monsters and stuff from the card take place, and you get this huge arena where you play with other players, or go to the world from the monsters and you can scan the monsters and scan the equipment, and then you get the card, and you can go back to the big arena and play with other people and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
It's a fun little show, and if you just want something to watch, it's a pretty good show. You can still find it on the internet. And that, I thought that was really cool. And they made a card game for it. And I played it. And what was cool is every card. So like one of the big creatures was his name was Maxor. Every you could get a copy of Maxor, and they have different stats. It was like strength, speed, vitality, something. It was like there were like 4 stats on the side. Every card had it. So because some characters were intelligence based, some were strength based, whatever.
Yep.
You could get 2 copies of the card with different stats because it represented you scanned the creature when he was at different points. You scanned him when he was really tired. You scanned him when he was fresh, ready to battle, or etc. and so forth. And every card had a code at the bottom where you went onto the website, you entered the code, and you got that scan of your card, and you could play online.
Oh,
this was
pretty cool.
So long before a lot of your early online stuff. It was so ahead of its time, I feel like.
Yeah. Wow.
Because I had to have been like 5th grade into middle school when I played this. I would get packs, I would enter the cards online, I'd build decks, and I'd be playing. I'd come home from school, I'd play Chaotic online against people, and get more packs, build more decks. It was so fun. And I never had to have people play it, which was good because there weren't a lot of people that played it because it didn't do well. But there was online in this website that was built into the game, and it was so cool.
Interesting.
Well, it was forever ago because they weren't trying to double dip. The fact that you could own the physical copy and then scan a code or input a code for a digital version is something you absolutely could not do nowadays. You'd have to rebuy it online.
Yeah, I think Pokemon actually kind of does that now, or like a couple
I
years
would be
ago.
stunned to know that, given the resurgence in Pokemon card value.
Well, so it's not code on the actual Pokemon card itself. It's like every time you buy a pack, there's usually a card at the back that you enter a code in, and I think pretty much all those cards in that pack, when you enter the code in successfully, all those cards get entered into your own a collection on your account, on your Pokemon account. So I'm assuming that's still a thing. I don't know. I haven't touched the Pokemon TGC.
No, I haven't bought Pokemon cards in ages.
Yeah. But yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I only watched one Pokemon card opening channel. You guys probably know him, Max Mofo Pokemon.
Nope.
Max is my boy from the Cold Ones. Yeah, so he does Pokemon unboxing and all that shit, and every time he does a pack, there's a card specifically to enter that pack in, whether it's a 5-card pack or the full. I think for Pokemon it's 60. It could be 60. I could be wrong. And that you can use that card to enter it into the official Pokemon TCG game, and I think you get it digitally as well. So yeah.
I mean, it's good to do. I think that's something physical TCGs that have online ways of playing and stuff should do that a bit more.
Oh, absolutely.
Regularly.
Imagine fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic did that. That'd be great. Now, granted, though, as I said, the misprints are probably not going to be converted into digital, but still.
Yeah, I like trading card games. It would be nice to see. Chaotic was just way ahead of its time. I feel like part of me feels like if that game came out now, it might do better. And I think there is a small community that still, plays and trades amongst themselves and is trying to get a resurgence of it somehow, and I'm rooting for you guys. If it comes back, I'm right back in, man. I'm right back in.
Okay.
This question all kind of comes around because, circling back to how we started this, because I've been playing Genshin for a week straight.
Oh god.
Genshin has a trading card game built into their own game now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I remember the last time that I logged in, it was making mention of something about that.
It's as far as I can tell, it's completely separated from their monetization. So it has nothing to do with money spent or whatever.
I highly doubt that. If that is the case now, then in the future that's going to change. I'm calling it.
Well, as I've been playing for the last week a little bit, I've seen no way, shape, or form to use my Prima Gems or any money in it. So if there is, I'm just unaware of it.
I love anime Gwent.
Is
that what it
like
is?
Gwent. It's nothing like Gwent.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's, I want to say it's different from most TCGs I've played. I can't think of one, and given I've played a lot, so I probably, have forgotten some and how some of them play. I can't think of one that it immediately reminds me of off the top of my head. So it's really, it's honestly enjoyable, and I'm surprised by that. And it's, like I said, it's completely separated from their monetization. So you do a little quest. They, take you through your little tutorial beginning how to play the card game section. They give you a starter deck, and you play. That's pretty much it.
God, I'm getting fucking triple triad PTSD flashbacks just hearing it.
It's you get character cards based off the characters in game. There's weapons based off of the weapons you can equip and stuff, and just little like places and things based off of places and stuff. And if you want new characters, you just go face that character in a match. You beat them, you get their card. Easy as that. And then you just build a deck, and the main gameplay mechanic is built around the elemental system that Genshin uses for its main combat system. So
right, so it's not place a card down in a 3x3 fucking deck space and just pray to RNG.
Nope, you pick 3 characters, and then you build a deck of 30 cards of equipments, things like that, and you fight against other players who also have a team of 3 and a little deck of equipments and stuff, and first person to beat the other, to wipe out the entire team of 3 for their opponent wins.
Okay, that sounds better than triple triad. But still,
it's like I said, it's surprisingly well thought out and kind of enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie.
give it a couple of months, and it's gonna be like, yep, you can buy card packs for like 5 or 10. What's the currency? Premium currency?
Prima Gems?
Yes, those.
Well, there's no card packs. All the cards are just in a shop, and you just buy them. That's it.
I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't play Genshin, so I don't know.
It's simple. It's not so engaging or entertaining that I could play it like for a long period, like I can a lot of TCGs. But it's enjoyable. I want to punch whoever decided what they named it, though.
What did they name it?
So Genshin Impact, abbreviation GI.
Yeah, G.I. Joe.
It's called Genius Invocation TCG. So GI TCG. So the Genshin Impact TCG is called Genius Invocation TCG. I'm just like, it feels like just, I don't know. It just something in the back of my head is just, it ticks when I hear the name of it.
Right.
Especially because in game, all the voiced cutscenes that play out during this, they don't just say the GI TCG. They literally read out every time Genius Invocation TCG, Genius Invocation TCG, and I'm like, oh my god.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't think people actually say like the full name of like uh the franchise anymore. Like, oh, except for like Pokemon, but like you don't say
Pokemon
P.
and Yu-Gi-Oh, I think, are the only ones I like that really stand out.
Oh, and technically Hearthstone, but there's no such thing as Hearthstone TCG. It's just called Hearthstone. Same with Legends of Runeterra. I don't know.
I want to try Legends of Runeterra. After watching you play it way back, I was like, this looks entertaining.
It's super free to play friendly,
Yes.
and it has a single player game mode. So if you
Yes.
just do not
Thankfully.
feel like getting cheesed out or stomped because you don't want to use all your brain, they have.
I don't want to
a
get bodied in the
feed.
lobbies. I can play the single player. Got it.
If you like characters in League of Legends, I'm not saying gameplay, but like the characters themselves, like the backstory and all that. It's
It's my main thing I liked about League.
it's pretty good because like one that really sticks out to me is Zed. Zed is an assassin in League of Legends. For those who do not know, he's Ionian, which is essentially Asia in Runeterra. Um, and like whenever he is placed down, and then you have like these like I guess I want to say like NPCs, but like the like non like main characters be placed down like like a shinobi shinobi like what's the word, like a disciple sort of thing. Zed will have like some interaction with that card, or if you're having like enemies, like the person you're versing is like a enemy in lore with Runeterra and all that. They will like exchange words to each other. Shit like that's kind of cool. I like that.
I dig that a lot. Yeah. I mean, like, lore in the world of League is always the thing I enjoyed and what made me log in. I never was great at playing. So this sounds good to me. Is it actually out now?
Yeah, it should
It's
be.
been out for years.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Oh, okay.
I think they're starting to wind down how much is going to be coming out per year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they just laid off like half of that art department.
Oh.
No, that's unfortunate. Well, it sounds like I need to try it out while it's still there.
Oh, I don't think it's going anywhere since Riot did the whole unification of their lore, and most of that lore, I promise you, is going to come from this trading card game
Yeah, if you
and
like
Arcane.
if you like background lore, this is a good game to get into, to like emphasize like it's not even just like champions, there's also like places like Demacia and Noxus. Like there's a lot of just visuals of like what does
Well, to be
Noxus look
fair,
like and what does people.
that is all true,
Mhm.
but it's all done through characters
Oh, yes.
because it has to be done through the cards.
Yes, like
No, it just doesn't use exclusively champions.
Yes,
You will be introduced to other members of those nation states.
yeah, like there will be like a card literally called like Demacian Initiate or Initiate and Enforcer, whatever, and it's literally just like some guy or some girl, right? But like that some guy or some girl gives you an idea as to like who the people are that are not like the champions that you play in the main League of Legends game, so to speak.
If I had to give you one thing that I think would sell you, Matthew, I would say this, because you're a big lore guy and you like seeing how the story can unfold. There are cards that have a story in the deck. Lord of Mercy, I wish I could remember her name. I think it's Cythria, is a Demacian character that appears nowhere in League of Legends. She starts as like a 2-cost card. She's just wandering into town. There's another version of her as like a 3 or a 4 cost where she is joined the military. And then there's a version of her that is a 6 cost card that is possibly one of the best cards in the deck.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of storytelling in this card game that is done through the game and not through writing.
I'm sold on that. I think, yeah, that's kind of cool.
I
I dig
figured that
that.
would be the big thing, because like just
Yeah,
because knowing you.
as a lore junkie in just about everything, that yeah, I'm about it. Okay. One of you guys needs to shoot me the link after cast so I
Easy
can
enough.
check
Alright.
that out.
Easy enough.
Yep.
Speaking of that, speaking of League of Legends, Arcane Season 2, November 2024.
Oh my god.
I genuinely can't wait. I think the
Same.
best thing that League has ever done was not cancel that project and allow them to continue with official backing, because it is now actually the lore for Piltover and Zon.
Yep.
I mean, the first one was so good. I'm just like, oh man, I'm scared for the like the hype anticipation. Like when anything has a long time to build up hype, it's like, oh man, is it going to do good because you had to wait for it? It literally scares me now.
So I think those people need to temper their expectations, because we all know that, especially just full on 9 episodes of high quality fucking artwork and animation and all that shit and special effects and all that takes time. This is not a yearly thing, not an annual thing. It's not fucking COD. So I think they need to
I don't
temper.
know, especially with Modern Warfare 3. Maybe we
I mean,
we don't use COD as a good base.
No. I'm not saying good. I'm saying like COD comes out like every single year, right? Like, and the quality has dwindled. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I think they need to temper their expectations. But that being said, I don't think it's gonna be bad. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's. I don't think it's gonna be bad, but I do hope that it is as good, or if not better, than first season, because first season was fucking strong.
So strong, so good. I still go back and watch the what is it? The Jinx versus
Echo.
Oh yeah,
Echo,
the
yeah.
Echo, yeah.
That scene, I watch it over and over. Sometimes it's so
it's
good.
nuts.
But yeah, and is it officially still Piltover and Zorn, or have they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Piltover Zone.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still a lot of story threads from the first season.
Yeah, like
there that
Warwick
they could
and
play
all
on.
that shit. Yeah. Warwick and Singe, I should say.
Oh, that's coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They haven't
so.
said anything about like moving on to like different continents, have they? Especially after.
No, not that they've said anyways.
Yeah, Fortition, the initial writers were doing this strictly for this grouping of characters.
Okay.
I wouldn't expect to see anything else for a long time. I mean, that said, we know that Noxus now has a presence in the city.
Oh
so.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to stay focused on this group of characters, and it is only going to expand out when absolutely necessary for this story. And then when they're done telling this story, is when they do something else, and even then they might change the name, because Arcane, a League of Legends story, is, if I'm not mistaken, is the full title to it. Is this grouping of this place and people. They might make something else for another place or people if they wanted to. Or
Interesting, because
that's the theory. That's the theory. They haven't said any
right,
of that.
because if we're doing Arcane, then it should have been like technically Shurima. I don't know. Like Xerath and Rise, they're very well. I mean, Xerath is literally just an arcane monster, and Rise is like just like a master of magic sort of thing.
I wouldn't think we have to wait that long for Rise. I think Rise is going to have something to do with this story. I'm pretty sure he's the guy who
gave Jace
was helping out.
the
Yeah,
hex
exactly.
call.
Just so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see Shurima done at some point. I think Shurima would be interesting.
Oh, Shurima would be great.
But to be fair, seeing that they're using the Void in Piltover and Zon, I genuinely think we're going to get a slow drip of a little bit of everything into this, and then we're just going to move on, and the next thing that comes out will not be attached to this at all in any way, shape, or form.
Possibly, yeah.
Just go to Shurima. Don't even referencing anything that happens in Arcane. Let this stand alone for a little bit until you can adequately write them together.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
I wouldn't try to force things together in the world, because that they've tried that for the past, 2009 till now is however long that is, and it's gone routinely not
14
great.
years.
Yeah.
I will take your word. I refuse. You cannot make me math right now.
But yeah, no, I understand. It would be very jarring that we get all this like character build up for Arcane, and then Arcane is finally over for like Piltover and so on, and then we go over to Shurima, and then wherever we left off in Arcane, we start with Shurima. I don't want that. I want Shurima to have its own characters and its own story. And if there is a very overarching story, which is the Void, obviously, like that will come in eventually, like in a couple seasons down the line. Give your own characters breathing room and let them develop and evolve and all that, and then make them enter the overarching story.
As somebody who loved League's characters and the world and everything, but never had a way to really get good interaction with it back then, like going way back then, which is why I never really got into League a whole lot, because I couldn't get the story very clearly.
Yeah.
Arcane is like a godsend, and as long as they keep telling a story of this quality, I'm fine with whatever they do. Like,
yeah,
it's so good.
Truthfully, until they started doing things outside of Riot, I had no interest in the story. I was aware of it because everyone in the world at one point was playing League, and a lot of my friends continued to. I didn't care. Nope. Couldn't be asked. And then folks other than Riot started doing it, and it got well more interesting.
I still need to play the little standalone game thing, the Ruin.
The Ruin King was excellent. Convergence, not so much. But apparently A Song of Nunu is also excellent, and that fleshes out the Freljord. So.
Yes. 3 ice chicks fighting for power. Yep. Yep, there you go. That's your story. That's your Freljord story. Oh, and then it's just a guy that's a raging fucking killaholic.
Hey, if anything, Game of Thrones has shown just contests for the crown can sell interest.
Especially if they're 3 hot women as well. Yeah, and that as well.
Don't rely on the Freljord for that. I know that Ashe is a supermodel.
No, I'm talking about Lysandra.
Okay, sure. If you're really into backs and only backs, then yeah, Lysandra will do it for you.
What, don't you like
otherwise,
Ice Crystal?
Big old
Lohav
mask thing and a whole lot of true ice for legs. Yeah,
it's kind of hot.
Lysandra is super interesting.
Actually, I think it's cold, Matt. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, true. No, Lysandra's super interesting. Of the three members to the north, Lysandra is actually the most interesting, but not because of the way she looks.
Yep, that's fail. That's fail. Sorry, go on.
If you have something to add to that, go ahead. I was going to ask Stella a question.
Not really. I was just going to say that the 3, I should say, biggest ones I really want to see. I mean, obviously, the Piltover and Zorn is good. The 3 biggest one I really want to see is Noxus. Technically Shurima, but it's like half Shurima, half Darken, because the way that story, how those characters became to be and all that is kind of weird and cool at the same time. And
I admittedly don't know about the Darken. Are they? I didn't realize they had anything to do with Shurima other than fear.
They're technically ascended, right? Which is like is either godhood or like a tier below godhood. So you have Aatrox, Azir, Renekton, Narcissus, and I'm pretty sure there's one or two other more that I'm misremembering. They're
Mm-hmm.
all ascended, so they were like humans that were like more or less like chosen because they did war or like they did some scholarly shit and they were like not really the best. I mean, except for Azir. Azir was like emperor, so that's a little bit different. But like, yeah, they were like sort of chosen for ascension, and they took I forgot what you call it, but it's like a sun disk sort of thing. Sorry, I just hit my mic. There's like a sun disk sort of thing that like ascends them to essentially Godhood or into those like monsters in quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and essentially they become gods and all that. Um, thing is with Aatrox, I fucking love Aatrox, by the way. He was obviously a good guy, sort of. He was like a general. He was the one that like more or less like one man army the entire fucking void into from invading into Shurima. But because he fought the void for so fucking long, he kind of become corrupted and and then he became like the essentially like the bad guy of like Shurima and possibly the world as well. He's fucking awesome. I love him.
Azir is definitely in that group of characters that I liked that I would like to have seen story for. The other one is the group I don't know the name. That's like the sentient weapons or whatever that take
That's the
over the
Darken.
people.
That's
That's
the
the
Darken.
Darkin. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Darkin are yeah. I'm very interested in them. So I would love to see that in an animated form. Like see,
You are never gonna get the Darken because they are split up in universe. Because Rost is with Cain and Ionia. Aatrox is hunting
Pretty much.
what's his husband? Tryndamere, as I understand it, because he wants a
Not
big
only
strong host.
well, not only that, but also like he thinks Trinimir could possibly kill him and like finally release him from this like torment of just living forever, right? So Aatrox's MO is essentially just all life gone. Like just there's no life because he thinks if there's no life, his like
He's a nihilist.
yeah, sort of, but like his soul, like the sword, since no one can pick up the sword, whoever picks up the sword, like Aatrox takes over and just kills, right? And he is reborn. So if there is no life on the planet, he thinks he could like just like finally fucking die off or some
Right.
shit.
Um, so yeah, essentially, I don't think you're ever going to get a Darkin focused story. I think they will always be.
it doesn't have to be focused, but I would just like to see more of
Sure.
them in the animated stuff because all of them that I've seen have been very interesting, especially the one with the bow. I thought the bow one was really cool.
So funny enough, you've chosen the only one without a good story. Literally. Oh no, I think his story has been updated somewhat recently to
Oh, Varus.
two
Yeah,
lovers. Yeah, two lovers trapped in that. But he easily has the least story going on.
yeah.
I think it
He's
was just
probably
because I was actively playing when he came out that
Well,
he
well,
actually.
that's why I said like half Shurima, half Darkin, because majority of the Darkin is from Shurima, but there's obviously a few
yeah,
weapons that
they would
are
always be
gone.
playing support to a different story because
Yeah, like Varus and Kane, as you
just
said.
so. Yeah, Varys and Cain could appear in anything Ionia based. Aatrox technically could appear wherever you want. I think Neferi is
Yeah,
currently still in the desert, so uh, they're too scattered to have a singular story, but they could absolutely be a big subplot.
yeah, absolutely. Aatrox will his interaction in sorry introduction area will either be Freylord or Noxian. Noxia.
How wait, Noxus? Why
Noxus,
Noxus?
sorry. Because he also partakes in war and all that shit. Because he's trying to kill everyone, and war is like the best way to fucking kill people. Ultimately,
sure. Is that still his story? Are you
Yes,
sure?
no, that's his updated story. So you're probably thinking of old Aatrox, which is so old Aatrox was like, if I remember correctly, he was kind of like a semi war god or like some semi like war pantheon. His wings aren't wings; they're like war banners and all that shit, right? And he he helps. So he wants people to fight and kill, right? But he's not like I want to kill everyone. It's whoever is losing, I am going to support them, and they are going to whoever's on the losing side gets Aatrox's support essentially, and then because Aatrox being some sort of a god, right? Like he fucking decimates, right? Now, obviously, I don't know why fucking Darius or Noxus have not been in a fight together. I don't know why, because Darius would not let that slide because his pride is he's blinded by pride, right? Um, but like usually, like that was his like old thing was whoever was like losing a battle or a war, he would support and they would like decimate the other side. In New Aatrox, he just wants to kill fucking everyone.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Matt, you
cool.
had a question earlier. What was that?
Yeah. Did you mention Modern Warfare 3 is not doing well?
Oh, I don't know if it's not doing well. I'm sure it's Call of Duty. It's probably doing fine. It's probably going to be the game that sells the most copies this year, which is frustrating to me. But critically speaking, uh, that
No one
game's
likes
kind of
it.
a mess.
Yeah, no one likes it.
It was meant to be a DLC. It ended up being expanded into a full game. The dev team did not have the
Full
time.
price game, by the way.
Yeah, they didn't have the time or resources to make a full-fledged game worth of content, which is why either all or a majority of the maps are remakes of maps from Modern Warfare 2, and the story is being absolutely shat on by absolutely everyone,
Yeah.
even fans.
Yep.
Oh, geez. I
But at
hadn't
the end of
heard
the
any of
day,
that.
yeah, well, unfortunately, I look up strictly critical stuff, so I get to see all this horrible stuff. At the end of the day, it's Call of Duty, so I'm sure the gameplay, like the actual gunplay, is fine. It just, do you care that they're reusing maps? I don't. Do you care that the main campaign is 2.5 hours long and trash? I kind of do,
It's
because why now am I paying $70
a
for
2 hour game or a 2 hour campaign.
2 hour campaign and reused assets? If this
Yeah,
was
that's
a
fair.
$50-$60 experience, I'd probably be a lot higher on this than I am. Because again, it's Call of Duty. The gameplay is going to be fine at worst.
I mean, I have noticed that Dan's been playing Modern Warfare 2 and not 3, and I know he got 3, so...
Yeah.
Then you mentioned that earlier, so I was just like, did I miss something with 3? Did it
Yeah.
tank, or...
Well, I don't, again, I imagine it didn't tank. I imagine it will. I imagine it will actually be one of the highest grossing games of the year, like it always is. Call of Duty, FIFA, and Madden are
Ugh.
year over year the top three selling games whenever they come out. If they're not
Mhm.
first, they're probably second. And no single player game is beating them. Their only competition is each other.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I can vouch those numbers from the years I worked at GameStop. That
Just
tracks.
so. So unfortunately, even with this game being very poorly received critically, it is Call of Duty. So if you like Call of Duty, there's still a lot to like there, but they're for once actually getting a whole lot of shit thrown at them because it's not what it should be.
Well, that's kind of disappointing in a way because I was interested in Modern Warfare 3 because I haven't played Call of Duty in a while and I wanted to play one. So now I'm kind of wondering, well, now I know that if I get 3, I'm going to wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah.
So it's just, that is still slightly disappointing to hear. The Yeah, just dang. That's the end of that thought. Just dang. So you guys been playing anything, doing anything interesting this week aside? Because I know I kind of tangented off of off of my Genshin addiction.
You want to go first, Tola?
Yeah, sure, I can. It's really simple for me to talk about what I've been doing. I've been so busy with work that whatever little bit of free time I have been playing, I'm replaying through 10 again because 10 is the
Oh
best.
my god.
I love 10. I love 10 so much. However,
I know
I
you do a
have
yearly replay, and I thought you'd already done it this year. So when I saw you playing that
no.
like a week or two ago, when we all watched Spider Man, I was just like, I thought you already did this, and I was very confused.
No, this year's been really rough for getting anything done because there've been so many good games that came out.
Hmm.
But I did finally pop in. I am kind of at a point where it's hard to press on because I've been busy, I've been in a bad mood, and I'm at home, and home is just emotionally really trying.
I feel.
It's great, it's fantastic, but it's a real emotional low, and
Right.
I kind of don't need that. So, um, I've been grinding it out. Been doing that. Been doing 10 occasional arc nights, but that's mostly upkeep. There's like I'm not actually doing anything in it.
Right.
You did say you were doing two gotcha, so that was the other one was Arknights.
Yeah, well, I'm technically only doing Arcanites. I have Genshin, so you can feel free to, whenever you'd like, ransack my world.
Yeah, this is what I do with my friends. I make them download a game just so I can plunder their games.
Absolutely, I played
That's
this.
what I do.
I played Genshin at launch. I played Genshin until it stopped being fun at launch, and then yeah, no, my world is just dibs.
Right.
It's ripe with resources ready for me to take. And I liberally use those resources, let me tell you.
Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, I've been working a whole lot, so it's been a pretty sparse amount of gameplay, and it's all been for my nostalgia.
That's fair. I mean, I can't fault you on playing 10 again. I get the
Mhm.
urge to play 10 pretty regularly too, because it's just a fun game, man.
It has my favorite system in any turn-based combat. I'm always pleased when I see other games take it. Games like the Legend of Heroes games use it. At least Cold Steel used it. Maybe it's not present in the other ones, but Cold Steel used it. The Ruined King used it. Battle Chasers used it.
I
So
think
like
I think Zero has it, so Zero and
yeah,
Anjir should have it. Because I'm
there you go.
still
So like
playing through Zero. I haven't finished it.
mhm. So whenever I see conditional turn-based, I'm always super excited. It's like, oh, fantastic. It's proper turn-based. I get to see how my choices will affect the turn order going forward. It's just my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I'm not
Fucking
gonna fault you on that.
hasted Titus with quick attack. You know what's? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
How
yeah,
else are
no,
you
no,
gonna do
I'm not.
damage?
This is obviously before even mentioning the characters and the story arc.
Yeah.
yeah. Conditional turn based is fun.
Yeah,
Then you have all the characters and stuff.
yeah, and I've had what, God, 23 years to routinely fall in love with this cast over and over again. So I am beyond help. What have you been up to, Nat?
I'm still on the fucking Plague Star event grind in Warframe. That's nearly
Ah,
done. We still got like at the time of this recording, it's like 3 days and 10 hours. I want to say because I last checked, it was like 11 hours, so it might be 10 now. Um, so yeah, trying to get through that, trying to get as much reputation I can get to buy built formers, so I can actually go and make my warframes and weapons stronger and all that.
Yeah, this man goes and been playing Warframe for a week, doing the event grind, and doesn't ever message me at all.
Bro,
Could have saved me from my mindless
bro,
Genshin
I
farming.
am doing my mindless fucking grinding, which is me going in, playing music, and then just vegging out. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I can't do Steel Path with you, so I can't blame you.
Yeah, that as well. I mean, you sort of can if you play support with like Wisp or Vaults. You can just make sure you just don't die every 3 seconds. Um, but yeah, I've just been playing support while doing that, playing Wisp Prime because I don't think I have the weapons for DPS. I try to help with Soma Prime, but even then, like, you know, it ain't the one shot guns, sadly. But yeah, speaking of 10, I did mention at the end of the marathon that I want to get back to both 10 and 13 to do a post game playthrough completion sort of thing with those stream save files.
Right.
So 10 is also on my radar as well. So yeah. Yep, that's literally it. Is there anything else? I'm trying to somewhat semi get back into Master Duels, but like when it comes to card games, it takes me a lot longer to like reintroduce myself. I don't know. There's just a lot of like little things in card games that you just need to refamiliarize yourself compared to like, I don't know, like FPS or like you know, turn-based RPGs and all that.
That's fair. I get that. As somebody who's played as many as I have, I get that. It's harder to get back into Magic now for me than it is most other ones, but
Yeah. Actually playing. Not plans. Yeah, no, it's literally just like Warframe. Yeah.
just where you streamed Pokemon Yellow.
Oh yes,
the other
yes,
day.
yes. Sorry. Oh, thank you for reminding me because that's also tomorrow. So I've also I was streaming Pokemon Yellow, and that was because I don't know. I was in like, you would know this, Matt, but like I've been in a somewhat like Pokemon nostalgic mood.
Yeah, we were watching the movies the other day while we were farming experience in Warframe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I found a site called Pokeflix, which is literally Netflix, but it's like all the Pokemon movies and episodes, which is fucking amazing. Now I can make Matt watch the entirety of Pokemon X and Y and see how dog shit that is, and make him watch X, Y, and Z, and make him see how fucking awesome that season is. Like it's like night and day. It's like insane. Pokemon X, Y, and Z, the anime episodes is fucking good. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, because they actually had a budget and had like a direction. I think like one of the directors was like, "Yeah, we're gonna make this like a shonen for kids and not like teenage boys," and it worked. They pulled it off because it was fucking awesome.
He says he's gonna drag me through this. And
I
he actually
am.
will. Like he 100% will.
I will.
I assure you, dear listeners, that I will have at some point gone through this. He will make me do it.
I will. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, so I'm terrible at schedules. I don't do schedules, but I've decided that I want to make at least this weird Pokemon game stream that I'm doing is like every Sunday, my morning, around like 8-9 a.m., which is when I'm still asleep. So yeah, started Pokemon Yellow. I'm doing all third games up until Gen 5. Then I've got to decide what I want to do afterwards because they stopped doing 3 games per gen. So yeah.
You realize Yellow is technically the 4th game, right?
Yep.
Because you can
yellow.
Yes.
Because originally it was red, blue, and then they did green.
No, it wasn't
and
originally
then yellow,
red and green. Then came out to
Then we got blue, and then
yeah. It was red and green, and then they get blue. Yellow came out later after the anime was a thing.
I'm not counting the fucking Japanese thing. All right, the Japanese games, okay? Because you are technically right. It is technically the 4th game, but I'm doing. It's still
it's the only one we never got.
It's
the only
still
one we never got.
Well, yes, it's still like the 3rd game because Gen 2 Crystal, Gen 3 Emerald, Gen 4 Platinum, right? So I'm
no, because like the habit of what the 3rd games give to the other 2 was done in that original release of Blue, or whichever one was the 3rd one. Yellow is literally its own game.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, here's the thing. I do know there's a huge difference between red and blue and yellow. But like, I don't know, it's still the same game, but you get all the starters in yellow. And also, Pikachu's fucking dog shit in Gen 1. Jesus Christ, he is made out of glass. Like, his defense is so bro, the amount of times I've had my Pikachu nearly die from like just one shitty attack because he has like low ass defense. And he's like, oh my god, actually made of glass. Yes, regardless, ignoring technicalities, every third Pokemon game I'm gonna stream on Sunday morning. So yeah, I've also been playing Pokemon ish.
Nice. I'll try to catch some of them. That's just an awkward time for me, but
Yeah, it's also an awkward time for me because again, I would still be sleeping, but I'm trying to somewhat get up and be like, hey, remember Saturday morning cartoons where you watch cartoons and probably played Pokemon on your fucking Game Boy Color? Yep, I'm trying to somewhat recreate that. I'm trying to nostalgia bait you guys.
nostalgia bait works, man.
Yeah.
It works.
Oh, fucking
I'm
earth
literally
does.
playing through a 20-year-old game right now. Nostalgia Bait absolutely works.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So Warframe and somewhat Pokemon is what I have been playing.
Yeah, so pretty in a way very similar to myself. You are stuck in an endless grind.
Oh, the event's nearly done. Oh my god. Oh, and then I have no idea what I'm going to do afterwards, after the event. I think I had plans, but now I forgot about it. And now thinking about it. But yeah.
When I finally stop endlessly grinding, so whenever this banner is gone on Genshin, it's probably knock out the last little bit of Spider-Man 2 I still need to do, and then catch up on my own Warframe grinding and other things.
Yes. Yeah. I was still
Because Genshin, like I said, it has absorbed everything for me, and I'm right at the end of Spider-Man 2. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yep, but with all that said, thank you all for listening. Do appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to share with your friends, and we will see you all in the next one.
Bye bye. Take care.
Be good. Love your faces.
Peace.